gentlemen, welcome back to Season 2 of Fantasy Pylon. We are back by popular demand. To my right, we got Nick, and to my left, we got other co-host, Kradonk. And today, on the return, we're doing this episode a little late than normal, because, the entire world's in a pandemic. I don't even know if we were going to do Season 2, but today we're going to be talking about our top 10 running backs and wide receivers, and not pre-draft. We're talking about at the end of the season who's going to rank top 10. So today we each got 10 people. Some of us might have a guy in a different order, vice versa. And so we're each going to go through our list, top 10, and see where that goes. And I guess without further ado, we're back, and I guess we get started on our top 10 list. And this is just for the end of the 2020 season. Hopefully it ends strong through all 16 games, but this is going to be our list, and this is what we think on, what is today, September 8th? Okay,
Yeah,
so 2 days before the season starts. So I can start off, guys. A lot of times I see him, his ADP is about running back 2 overall 2. I've got Saquon Barkley, and the league got added, but Saquon Barkley is in there. I think he's going to have a monster year. I think everyone on the Giants are, I don't know, everyone seems to be healthy. I'm kind of on the Daniel Jones hype train. Not for that MVP season, though, because I heard a couple, this is this year's Lamar, this is the year before is Patrick Mahomes. I don't think Daniel Jones has that in him, but I do see the stats. He had a couple of blow-up games. I think Barkley's going to be the focal point as always. I think if Evan Ingram could stay healthy for once. Also, if Slayton, Shepard, Golden Tate all stay healthy, I think that could actually be a solid offense. So I don't know. You guys probably have Barkley at 1 or 2 as well.
I have Barkley at 2. At number 1, I have Christian McCaffrey. It's kind of hard to shy away from that guy at number 1.
Correct. Yeah. McCaffrey, I like. Obviously, I have him at 2 as well. Or you have him as 1?
I have him as 1.
Do you have him as 1?
I got McCaffrey at 1 also.
I mean, he's literally their whole
Do you guys
team.
think he back repeats 2,000 scrimmage?
He
won't
won't
be.
be as good, but
Yeah.
he'll be solid. He's the Panthers offense.
Do you guys think that the Panthers offense got better with the addition of Bridgewater?
Yeah.
I'd
So-
say
They
so.
brought in Robbie Anderson.
The only thing I think is is Bridgewater actually gonna be the same? I mean, Kyle Allen, I feel like he was just a bad quarterback, and I feel like he just wanted to check down McCaffrey a lot. I feel
Yeah.
like Bridgewater, the 5 games we saw, he went 5-0 somehow, but Saints were a very good team overall. So maybe he was just in a good position. But so I guess Bridgewater, what we have seen of him, he could be a bad
I think
or
Bridgewater's
Kyle
kinda,
Allen type.
Yeah, no, I think he's more of a check down kind of guy, not really like a.
He
deep
will
ball.
run more, I think, than Kyle Allen.
Did he run a lot on the Saints? I don't
I'm
think
Minnesota.
so.
I'm Minnesota.
Well, yeah,
I don't
that
know.
was-
Yeah.
That was like
Before he blew out
way.
his knee.
Okay,
Wow,
then okay. I mean, maybe there's not much rushing. I mean, he'll have some, obviously. I mean, even Phillip Rivers has a few rushes here and there. So,
Yeah, so
but
it's
nothing.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, well, he has goal line. But I guess so. He did have that crazy one. But okay, so we
I
have
could
CMC.
totally see a world where Saquon's number 1 overall, though.
Yeah, I don't hate
100%.
if you have CMC at rank 7th or something, then I could be like, okay, that's a little bizarre. But 1 and 2, I can't see people getting mad about that. I think if you probably draft them 1 or 2. Was there? I mean, were you guys in any leagues where those two didn't go first? I guess we were in one.
No.
Barkley went 5th, but that wasn't
That was
the ideal.
close.
Usually it's
That was-
Barkley's CMC 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I'm just putting Barkley there. I just think there's a different leader for this year. And Barkley was hurt. I mean, he didn't have that full season. But I mean, compare his rookie year and last year. I mean, when he did play, he did put up numbers. So
Yeah.
I think Barkley's the way to go. So let's see. Who's your number 3, Kelly?
My number 3 is Alvin Kamara.
Al, yeah.
That's
What,
he's
what,
my number
what
3
is
as
the
well.
purpose? You drafted him this year in our league. What do you think is on the positive, the pros for him this
Well,
year?
he's in a top 5 offense in the NFL.
Okay.
He's pretty much a shoe-in, 81 receptions again. And, if he goes back to average touchdown numbers that he had his first 2 seasons, that's, 14. I think he had 12 his rookie season and 18 his second season. So if he finds somewhere right in there, he'll be right back in the mix of things as a top option.
Did I see a stat where he had 81 catches last 3 seasons?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
He's insane.
That's like Tucker. He had 4 seasons of the same points or whatever, but you don't see consistent. But the catches there, PPR. I mean, he is a PPR gem. I do have him I have him ranked 9th. Okay, I had to keep him in the top 10 because it's Alvin Kamara. I think he runs amazing. He's an awesome player to watch. Best balance in the game, in my opinion. I think he's just a tough guy to take down. But I think the role for him this year is that, I don't know, Latavius Murray scares me always because they just want to give him touches. You know, I was telling you this the other day. Murray, I don't know why. He's getting like, what, 140 carries? Like, maybe around there, 130, 140. I just think Alvin deserves to have a full backfield. But Latavius Murray kind of scares me. Plus, I mean, Alvin, you traded me him last year. He kind of screwed me over.
Yeah, he was also hurt last year.
I get that. He was hurt. He was playing, he's being tough. At least he was playing for the team. But, and I mean, at least I had a guy to start every week, But the thing about Alvin, I mean, right now, is he in contract dispute still?
I saw a report this morning that they're very close, but even if they don't sign, he'll be motivated to play for a new contract.
Yeah, I don't think he'd hold out. You don't want to see
that was ever a thing for him.
I just don't want to see tension, with the organization. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be Le'Veon or.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I think if they have to pay him, they have to pay him because if they want to win a Super Bowl, they're not doing it without him.
What do you have him ranked?
I have him at 3.
Okay, so you guys.
I'm right there with Kelly.
My opinion is kind of lopsided. So
the intellectuals we are have the same top 3.
But okay, I mean, he's in my top 10 still. You can't deny that he's not going to be, great. I have him down a little bit more. Maybe he doesn't actually get 81 catches this year. They have Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, now so. Usually the Saints wide receiver 2, it never really becomes I don't know, they're never really a big deal. For how good their offense is, you never really hear, Traquan Smith, doing anything.
Yeah.
So I think Sanders is a great player, and he does get slept on a lot, but I think he's going to be one of the guys that is actually a decent wide receiver 2 for the Saints for fantasy football. But okay, next.
Who's your spot?
My number 3 is Dalvin Cook. Okay. And bear with me, I this whole offseason I was on the Dalvin Cook bus. But I was the bus driver of Dalvin Cook. And everything in line, had everything good for him, I thought. And then I started thinking closer to draft date that I thought, I don't know, Alex Madison had a great look for the touches he got last year. I think he does get to play a lot more snaps, a lot more carries this year. He's not going to be the split 50-50. I'm not saying that, but I think for the last 3 years, Dalvin Cook has gotten hurt in one of each of those seasons, So I just don't see them going as hard in the paint with Dalvin Cook. I think they, know he's a great player, but I can see third downs taking over Alex Madison. So, but I mean, to have him at 3, I mean, all the positives about him getting injured, and let's say Madison has the same role as usual, which I do think it plays a little. Which my entire debate right now is on negative for him to be at my 3. I think when he does play, when he has a full game, he gets too many carries to not be a top 3 guy. And all his touches, he makes it count. I think he finishes stronger than almost anyone. Maybe Josh Jacobs is a good guy who finishes harder than him, and Derrick Henry. But I don't think there's much people that finish for the fight for extra yards. So I want a guy that does that. So I don't. Did you guys have Dalvin Cook on your list?
I have him at 8.
I have him at 6. I can totally see why you have him at 3, though.
Okay.
I just think that 6 factors in a little bit of injury concern.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I don't think he's played a 16-game season.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's played more than 13 games in a season.
Oh, yeah.
I think last year he played the most games.
Yeah. And screwed you over. He is your boy,
I'm definitely a fan of Dalvin Cook. When he plays, he's a stud.
All right.
There's no doubting that.
Yeah. I like him. We'll see how it goes, though. So My number 4, well, let's talk about a guy that I don't even have ranked, and you have him at 4, Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott.
I have Zeke at 4. I just think he is the definition of consistency at the running back position. I think you know what you're going to get with Zeke. He's got a good offensive line. He's a good talent. They just paid him a boatload of money last year. They're not going to just shy away from him. I know you think that they're going to be a pass-heavy offense. And I could see that, but I still think Zeke is more than capable of a receiving back. I could see double-digit touchdowns for him. It's a good offense. I just don't see. I think Zeke is one of the safest players in my opinion. I think that he's. You know what you're gonna get out of him, week in, week out. I think 4 is a good spot for him.
Now, Kelly, what do you like? What are I know you almost didn't have him ranked. What are downfalls you think about him this year?
Oh well, I think the Cowboys will become a very pass-heavy offense. I think Dak will flirt with 5,000 yards if he doesn't actually beat it. He's got 3 great receivers now in Cooper, Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb. He's got an athletic tight end in Jarwin. I see a lot of heavy shotgun from this team, airing it out, trying to get Dak that next contract. Zeke's a good player, but I just think I think Tony Pollard could become a factor too. If you look back at his Green Bay days, James Starks and Eddie Lacy were always on the field. But
Mike
McCarthy,
Mike McCarthy's never had a running back like Zeke either, though. So Zeke will probably hit 1,000 yards rushing, but I don't know
receiving or just
rushing. I don't know.
Do you not? What about his receiving game?
That I don't know. He could get some screens and whatnot, but I don't expect him to be like McCaffrey or Saquon or Kamara actually running routes out of the back.
Nah, yeah, I agree with that, but I still think I don't know if he's had less than 40 receptions in a season. I think he's always been involved in the pass game.
That is true.
But I'm pretty sure he said he worked. I know a lot of running backs say they work in the passing game in the off season, but I think he said he was working more on the passing game in the off season. So.
Yeah, I don't have him ranked because I looked at his numbers from last year, and they were consistency, like you said. You want that, but I feel like for him going 3rd overall in this year's draft, 3rd, 4th, maybe if you're putting Michael Thomas one more ahead. I guess Derrick Henry could be right around there, but a lot of drafts I feel like his ADP was 3rd overall, and he's very safe. He already had COVID, so but Raquel Armstead, we could see you could get that just again and not be relevant. But the numbers last year, I still wasn't really happy with it. They're consistent, but for a guy I'm drafting that early, I want volume to my I want him to win me weeks every week. I feel like Zeke didn't win a lot of people weeks. I feel like he if for your RB1 he put up 100 rushing yards, a touchdown. I feel like you want that, but I don't think he stole the show.
You don't think he possesses the same upside as he
there
did
wasn't.
before?
He didn't have any blow up games, and now with CeeDee Lamb, I guess people could be looking at CeeDee Lamb Dak was already great the year before with all these passing guys, and now and Cooper was hurt a little bit, but now you look at Cooper's back healthy, hopefully 16-week game or season, and then you got CeeDee Lamb, who's looked at as a top. But how many wide receivers get drafted in the first round of every draft for regular draft and actually do something their first year? Obviously people can, but you look at Calvin Ridley and DJ Moore, that's the thing I think of. They were drafted. Actually, I think DJ Moore was he a 2nd round guy, or was he?
I think he was a late first.
Okay, but those are 2 guys those only 2 wide receivers I believe drafted from a year or 2 ago. And, they're not anyone that's going to be anything special. So, they're special, obviously. They're great, later round guys. But they're not, I don't know. Obviously, you're going to have the role players for your team. You're going to have the slot wide receivers. And you're going to have the Julio Jones that just own the game. But
This is turning into a very long episode.
okay. Well, it's not supposed to be a short episode. All right. But, anyways, that's my take on Zeke. I don't think he's going to be that. I think you put him at 11, 12. I don't think he's going to.
You don't think he possesses the ability to win you weeks anymore?
Obviously he'll have blow-up games here and there, but
I don't think
I just think the Cowboys will throw the ball.
I mean, he used to have 60,
Yeah,
65
but don't you
games.
think money usually talks in these kind of situations, and they're paying him?
But they didn't get money last year.
Well, Mike McCarthy wasn't the coach when they paid him.
Yeah,
you can say
but-
whatever you want, but he's coming into a team where everything's put into place.
Yeah,
He wasn't the one advocating for a big payday for Zeke or anybody. Apparently,
Yeah, but
he's
don't-
just giving the players. He doesn't owe anybody anything.
yeah, but don't you think Jerry Jones is gonna be like, if you don't give Zeke the ball, get out of town, kind of thing? Not get out of town, but
like how pretty much any Cowboys player Jerry Jones
yeah,
take.
I mean, I feel like Jerry Jones really has the say, and
Well, if he
I mean, at the
wants
end
to
of the
do
day,
what he
we'll
does, he
see.
can be the coach.
He's roughly, and he's still.
He's not-
If you're taking him at third overall in this year's draft, or did, I mean, he'll be fine. But you should know what you're getting with consistency, and I don't think the blowups are there like they were 2 years ago. So okay, moving on, keep the show rolling. At number 4, I have Derrick Henry. I don't know where you guys have him this year.
I have Derrick Henry at 8.
I have my 5.
Okay, so Derrick Henry, I actually drafted him in our league this year. It's kind of off and on with him. Lately, I was a lot more when draft day came. Henry, I think, was, I mean, some leagues he was RB2, some was RB3, I think, just because, scoring types, but he's not really a PPR guy. I think Henry could easily bounce back to lead the league in rushing again. And on top of that, they lost. I mean, it's a small, thing. De'Aaron Evans, I don't think is going to do much.
Hell no.
I hear him in practice that he's doing bad last couple of times.
No,
And for a pass catching role, I think Ryan Tannehill goes down from his blow up games he had last year. But I think Tannehill's going to be more screen heavy. I think not screen, but check down heavy. I think Henry gets a lump sum of targets and a lot more than he's ever got. He had 18 catches last year, and he did take 2 of them to the house. But
what's your lump sum amount? He goes from 18 catches
okay,
to
we're talking about Derrick Henry of catching.
Yeah,
he is
what's
working on catching, like you said. Everyone works on catching in the off season.
What's your prediction? He goes from 18 receptions to.
I think at least 35. I don't
If he
know.
gets
I'm not gonna
35
say
receptions, he
could be a lot.
He
higher.
could be number 1.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. He could lead the league in rushing again, and
Yeah.
then get some carries, maybe a couple more 100, maybe 400 receiving yards. 3 touchdowns. But I'm not.
If he gets 400 receiving yards on 35
I don't know.
receptions,
I think more up his alley is like 250 yards.
But he
I
had
could definitely see
200
30
already.
catches. There's no reason
Yeah,
he can't get 2 a game.
I mean, I don't know what Deion
200.
Lewis
he
had.
had 1 reception for 75 yards.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I think there's enough. Derrick Henry, he seems to have these blow up plays, though. That's
Yeah,
what
he
I like
does.
about.
He definitely does.
So I think he easily gets. Not easily, I don't know, but I think he could hit the max of 35 catches, 30 to 35. I think is what we see this year. I think Evans tries to fill that Deion Lewis role, but doesn't hit. So that's all I say. More catches. I think that Derrick Henry could lead the league in rushing. I think we could see him, instead of being 3 or 2 in most leagues last year, be 1 or 2. So. But I do have him at 4 just because other upside guys. But that's just his potential sake. Is there anything else you guys want to add on that guy?
The only thing about Derrick Henry is if Ryan Tannehill takes a step back at all,
Which for some
the
reason
Titans
is
could
predicted.
hugely disappoint this season.
That where they stack 8 in the box.
Yeah,
or something.
Oh,
stack,
yeah.
make Tannehill throw the ball. Like if Tannehill comes back at all, that Titans team could disappoint massively this year.
I can see that. I mean, I can understand that. I think Henry as a player though is better than he was his rookie year, and honestly, I think he just keeps getting better every year. So I don't see him letting that happen. I think Henry, that's like a thing you almost can't. I think you guarantee that he has 1,000 rushing yards. Like that's.
Well, he's the best player on that team.
I don't know if you can guarantee 1,000 rushing yards.
If he plays all 16,
I think
it's
out of
guaranteed.
everyone in the top 10, to me, Derrick Henry has the biggest bust potential.
I don't know why.
Just because he doesn't have the receiving floor. He's
Floor,
not a good
right.
pass catcher.
I know,
there's
but
there's
I
no
don't-
secret. He's not a
Here's the
good
deal.
pass catcher.
The
So his
report, he's
floor-
catching
his
wet
floor
balls.
is a lot, dude.
He's
Don't
catching
give me
wet
that.
balls this
Don't
season.
give me that.
I just think, I don't.
Dude, if you're telling me if you can't catch a football with those gloves, you must be one of the most.
Watch. I mean, he's gonna get
eye
30 plus
coordination's
catches
gotta
this
be-
year. And the thing is, it's Derrick Henry. Like, it sounds crazy that
Yeah,
12
dude.
catches is that much more, but I think, or that crazy for him, but yeah, I think
mean,
Henry's.
I could see it. I could see him getting more receptions, but like I could also see him.
I
getting,
can't
like,
see bust
15
potential though.
I definitely could see
Like
him
bust
getting
for
a
his
bust.
ADP, but I still see him finishing like top 15, the guarantee.
Yeah, but if you drafted
Unless he
him
gets
in the
hurt.
fourth overall and he ends up being like the number 15 running back, I'd say that's.
Oh yeah, that's not.
I don't know
good.
necessarily a complete bust, but that's.
I don't
pretty
see
much a
him getting out
bust.
of the top 10 unless he gets hurt.
I could totally see a scenario where he's out of the top 10.
Kelly, do you believe my statement? Top 10 without injury, guarantee.
I think his floor, if he plays all 16, is top 10.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on. I got a guy that's at 5 that probably I feel like no one else does. Joe Mixon.
He's not on mine.
No, Kelly. Hold on, Kelly. Who's Kelly's number 4?
I got Michael Thomas at number 4.
I have him on my list. I have him at 8.
I have Michael Thomas
Yeah.
at 9.
Dude's just an absolute unit. You know,
Yeah.
he's if he, you know, like same thing. If he plays all 16, he's a shoe in at this point for 125 receptions for 1,400 yards and 9 touchdowns. I'd say. You know, he's just. Last year, he was the epitome of consistent. You know, he was putting up 10 receptions, 100 yards, and a touchdown like every other week. It seemed like, and he was just insane. It was just. He's consistent.
Yeah.
He's good. He's just a safe overall option, and you know,
I got nothing else to
I-
say. I mean, you predicted his.
Oh yeah, then you
his-
predicted he was gonna be number 1
his-
last year.
Achievements.
I predicted he was going to break the reception
Yeah,
record too.
and I think, there's nothing else to say. I think he's there. The only thing I can see is maybe he's gonna have a little bit of regression. I don't think he finished it. I have him as
Yeah,
wide receiver 1, but I
Yeah.
was reading that they haven't had a repeat on wide receiver 1 like at all in fantasy football.
I could
so.
100% see him being.
I have him
a
ranked
repeat
higher
number 1.
than my other wide receiver.
I just don't like him at 4 because I think running backs in fantasy football are a lot harder to come by than good receivers. So I would much rather have a workhorse running back than a wide receiver because I think you can find receivers with value later than you can find running backs with value. I mean, if I'm going to put someone that high, it'd be Michael Thomas.
I thought it was top 10 finishes overall, so that's why I have him that high. If it was top
Yes.
10 players to draft, you know, I'd still have him in the same spot, if
Well,
I'm being
yeah.
honest. But
No, yeah, we're
it's
doing
true.
the finishes, right? Is that what you based your list?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, pretty much.
Okay, well, I mean, I got nothing else to say about Thomas, but I have Mixon. I want to run this by real quick. Mixon, I think, has everything to be great. His last 8 games this season, he was phenomenal. The first, 8 games before the bye week was pathetic. Absolutely pathetic for what you're drafting him.
Yeah, I think he had 2 good games.
He had 2 okay games,
Yeah.
but the rest were pathetic. It's just not a guy. Very terrible. He did get hurt week 1. This is my philosophy, my theory. So I think he got hurt week 1. You know, he had a lingering injury always and didn't get time to rest. Goes to the bye week, gets that week off the rest. Goes awesome the last 8 games. And I think we're going to see that again. And he just got a new contract, correct?
yeah.
And not only that, they got Joe Burrow, number 1 overall. Now, I'm not saying the Bengals are going to be good, but I think the team is going to be revolved around Mixon, and I think he's going to be a top 10 player. I think he's a steal for what he's doing at ADP. So that's my say on Mixon.
I have Mixon at 10.
Yeah, number 10.
I think, I mean, I've been a Mixon fan
Yeah.
since his rookie year.
Since he
I've-
kicked the girl.
No,
or punched her.
I did not.
That
I
was
don't.
college.
I don't condone any of that. But I mean, Mixon's all you can ask for in a running back. He's a good runner in between the tackles.
Great
He hits
patience.
the hole fast. Great patience. He's a good pass catcher. I think the team has improved. I mean, obviously the quarterback's improved. Joe Burrow, I think he's going to be great in the NFL. They got AJ Green back, should help spread the field a little bit more. I just think overall the Bengals' offense will be a little bit more lethal this year, so they won't be able to just focus in on Joe Mixon. I could definitely see him having a big year. All right, my number 5 guy is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I am on board the hype train. I think this guy is going to be crazy. I mean, last year in college, I think he had like 1,700 scrimmage yards. He had like 17 touchdowns, something like that. I don't know exactly what the numbers were. But, I mean, he's going on to the best offense in the NFL. He's going to do a workhorse role right away. And I think Andy Reid, every year, he has like a workhorse running back. So I could totally see him having a Kareem Hunt season whenever Kareem Hunt was a rookie. I'm all on board the Clyde Edwards-Helaire hype train.
Yeah, Nick here, he's been very good at calling out rookie running backs. I will say that's one of his good features on the offseason for predicting that. And, I mean, with Damian Williams opting out, a lot of people got great steals before he opted out at the 3rd round. So I saw a lot. And people were talking about how maybe he should be higher then, but people are also saying that could be way too high for Clyde. But now that Williams opted out, I'm sure a lot of you guys got Clyde at 3rd round, but you took him 8th overall in our league. I can see everything. The only thing that's scary is like betting on a rookie running back to be your RB1.
Hey, man, look at
I mean,
Zeke.
Okay, I get it. And
Saquon.
Barkley, yes.
Kareem Hunt, well, I guess he was my RB1 that year, but I mean, Leonard Fournette, he wasn't my RB1. But I mean, rookie running back success was like a rare thing like 5 years ago, but once Zeke came in the league, that all went away. Like, it is, like, rookie running backs, it is completely within the realm of possibilities that they have a great rookie season. I mean, Nick Chubb a couple years ago when he was rookie was crazy. Like, I think rookie running
He
backs
was,
are the way.
but when he didn't have a great start, right? He didn't have.
No, he didn't, but
No, but like his last eight.
he came, like rookie running backs are
your
a
thoughts?
hot commodity in the league, I think.
See, when you compare him to those other rookie running backs,
Pre-draft.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is much smaller and in much. Well, those guys, you look at Leonard Fournette and Zeke and Saquon and whoever else, and they're all like big bodied backs in offenses that ran a lot. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is entering a situation with, I think the Chiefs were like 25th in rushing attempts last year, 21st in yards, I want to say. And he's primarily a receiving back. He's a smaller bodied guy. He's 5'8", and what is he, 200 pounds?
Something like that.
200-some pounds, yeah. So I don't know. I could see it being more of a Damian Williams situation here rather than a full workhorse load.
Yeah, that's why I can't draft him that high. I mean, a lot of people already did, but I can't rank him that high and truly believe that he's gonna get a full, just not knowing his full.
So is your problem with the workload or the player that he is?
Just
No, the
him
player
in
that
general. You Kareem Hunt too. I don't think he's nearly the runner that any of these other rookie running backs that you named are. Saquon, Zeke, Leonard, Kareem Hunt. They're all incredible running backs, runners to say the least, with a little bit of receiving. Where I see Clyde Edwards-Helaire as more of a receiving back and running is like secondary.
Here's the thing. He played for LSU last year in the SEC, which is hands down the hardest conference in college football. Like, that's pretty hard to argue.
Is that like a legit thing?
I'm pretty sure. I've heard.
Or is that just like a
I'm
fan?
pretty sure.
Okay.
I mean,
I didn't know
I
it
don't
was
think
a fan
like
thing.
the SEC comes out and says like we're the most pro ready, but like I'm pretty sure like that's just like a unknown thing. But I think he had. I think he did have 1,200 rushing yards last year, and he had like 500 receiving yards.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think the argument that he's a pass catcher first, and then a runner, I don't buy that. I buy the fact that he's a really good pass catching running back, and that he was the best pass catching running back in the draft. But I think the talent's there, but more so for me, it's the situation that he's walking into. Like, if he got drafted by the Bears, I'm not drafting him until like the 8th round, But he's on the Chiefs.
Mahomes
Damian Williams.
Far ahead of word.
Damian Williams just opted out. He's the clear-cut number 1 back. He's gonna get a full workload, and even if you were an average running back, on the Chiefs, like Damian Williams, he still was a decent running back. But I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is years of way better than Damian Williams. Like, you saw what Damian Williams did in the playoffs last year? Crazy. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a better talent than what Damian Williams is. I see the combination of the skill and the situation he's going into. I think it's a match made in heaven. If he stays healthy, I think he's top 5 finish, 100%. I don't see a scenario where he doesn't finish top 5.
See, I don't see Edwards-Helaire as a guy that can get 250 carries.
Really?
Yeah, because where was Edwards-Helaire 2 years ago when LSU wasn't blowing everybody out of the water? You know, Joe Burrow turned that offense from whatever to probably the best offense ever.
Where was Joe Burrow 2 years before that? He was a backup on Ohio State.
No, he started at LSU 2 years ago.
Did he?
Yeah, they beat UCF in a bowl game.
UCF was big.
Then 3 years ago,
national champions or
then
whatever
3
the fuck
years
they
ago,
are.
where was Joe Burrow?
Yeah, he was
Exactly.
at Ohio State. But
People can develop.
I just don't see Edwards-Helaire as a top 5 guy this year.
How I look at it is Edwards-Helaire. Honestly, do you think Edwards-Helaire could be looked at like a Kamara because he's more? Because you're saying you see him more as a runner, but I see your point saying that he doesn't get that workload for carries. But like, could he be a PPR gem? You think because of Mahomes just being able to throw the ball like crazy, or you really think he like?
I just think a lot of Edwards-Hilaire's production was LSU blowing people out of the water in second half rushing or whatever. Because Joe Burrow, the dude threw for 60 touchdowns last year, and I think it was 15 games.
You don't think Mahomes could do that?
Not in the NFL. He won't touch 60 touchdowns.
I could 100% see Mahomes throwing for 60 in 1 year in his career.
No, that'd be just
Manning-
under 4 touchdowns.
They
a
had
game.
55.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I'm not
I
sure
don't.
what's gonna
I
happen.
think he's gonna have 56. I think 60 is just like.
No,
I could see that happening.
I don't think he'll
I
have
think if
60
anyone does it, it
touchdowns.
would be Patrick Mahomes.
Well, all right, Clyde. You know, if you got him in the third, I think it's steal.
Listen, I'm just gonna say this as my final argument.
Okay.
You have seen my track record in drafting rookie running backs, and so far I have not missed.
Well, there's a first for everything.
I mean, that's true, but
Yeah.
I'm sticking to my guns.
I don't have really much else to say, so we'll move on. Let's see. Is there any guy I missed before we go? Before we go to Mr. Josh Jacobs.
I got Devontae Adams at 6.
Okay, go for Devontae Adams. Your case.
He ended the year on an absolute tear. Tore up the last 6 games when he got back from the toe and the 2 playoff games. You know, once he got acclimated to that offense with Matt LaFleur, as Stephen A. would say, he just took off with the role. He's the only wide receiver there. You know, they did nothing to improve their receiving core this year. I think Adams could. He's right up there with Michael Thomas in my eyes.
So yeah, I mean, I drafted him last year, and I mean, he got hurt. He got passed around the league because injury. He's coming back this week, whatever. And you got the 4 to 8 weeks, I think was the time stamp for his injury, and ended up being earlier than later. So Adams, I guess, I mean, I was on board with him last year. I drafted him really early, and he just got hurt. So they didn't make any upgrades. It's almost the same look as last year, I think. Plus, I thought maybe Devin Funchess, even though how ridiculous it sounds, he had a great week 1 with the Colts last year, and Devin Funchess broke his collarbone. So then they added him this year. I thought that was going to be really good, maybe a nice wide receiver 2 for the team. And then he opts out, right? Yeah. He opts out, doesn't even play. So I think it's the same exact look. Only thing you got is A.J. Dillon now at running back, but that's just...
I don't see A.J. Dillon having a...
No, well, I'm just saying for the team different. That's a running. It doesn't matter. Adams isn't a running back. Yeah. So I think, I think you have him at wide receiver 2 is nice. Top 10, yes. I like it. I don't see... I like DeAndre Hopkins as well, but I can understand the safeness because D-Hop is moving the teams. You got the same look as you did last year for Adams, so I got nothing else to say about Adams.
I could totally see Adams getting that high up. I mean, like everything that Sean said, he's got the same situation if he stays healthy. If Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he could totally be what he was 2 years ago.
Okay, all right. So Josh Jacobs,
That's your number 6.
6, yes. 7 for both of you guys.
Yes.
All right. So if you want to start, you can. I know I got a lot. To say
I'm very on board on the Josh Jacobs hype train. I just think that I wasn't really big on him last year until I saw him play, and I realized how good he was. I think that in his second year, he knows the system more. I think he'll be more involved in the pass catching game. I just think he's a very talented back. There's not much else for me to say. I think he's really good.
Yeah, no, he's a stud. I think like I said earlier in the episode, I think he's the best finisher in the league for just yards after contact. I guess would that be? That's not yak. It'd be.
Yeah, it's yak.
Yards
after contact.
Is that a receiver term or is that?
Yeah,
That's just.
yards
I think
after
it's.
catch.
It's just in
That's
general.
fine. Is it rack then?
Oh,
Or that's run after catch.
yards after. What's yard? What's after
Run
contact?
after contact, yards after catch, whatever it is. He finishes and fights for those extra yards. So, plus 13 games you saw, and honestly, I didn't really look at his stats until off season this year, and I was like, okay, this guy actually produced every time he had opportunity, and when there was worse weeks than others, there was reasons to back it up. Everyone's gonna have a bad week, but the average consistency and boom games he had. Plus he missed 3 games and wasn't it fractured shoulder?
Yeah, wasn't he
since
playing
week
hurt?
Yeah, week 7 you got that. Was that against Green Bay? He had.
was.
Yeah. So and plus he tore a crazy run against Green Bay last year. Then a few more decent carries, gets hurt. I don't think he returned. He might have tried returning, but then whatever. But the whole season, I mean, he should have probably been offensive rookie of the year in my opinion. But he did get injured, so I guess you can make a case Murray. That's why he got. But the whole season from last year, I think, was a great highlight reel for him, and I truly think if he plays 16 games this year, he has top 5 potential. I have him ranked 6. I know I have Mixon right in front of him, but truly, Raiders are a little bit better team than Bengals. So I can see Josh Jacobs. I was big on him. At first, I was like, dude, why are people ranking Josh Jacobs like first round? And then started doing the math essentially, and then it was like, okay, this guy deserves to be a top 10 pick. So anything you guys say about Jacobs?
I think the Raiders are built to own the time of possession and limit other teams' offense. They got the Chiefs in their division. I think they're building a team to control the time of the possession when they play a team like the Chiefs to limit their offense on the field. And that all starts with Josh Jacobs in the backfield. They feed him and they'll just ride him until his legs don't work anymore.
I gotcha. So I think we went through all Ish's guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had MT talk, we had Alvin Kamara talk. I haven't talked about. Well, you got a guy that you haven't picked.
Kenyon Drake sneaks into my top 10.
Go for it, Kenyon Drake.
Don't you have a guy at number 7?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I like Kenyon Drake.
When Kenyon Drake got to the desert last year, he took the role and ran with it. And, with the addition of DeAndre Hopkins in the second year in this offense, I think, with them going spread offense, 3-4 wide receivers on the field, no team can really stack the box against Arizona. And I think Drake will just find the running lanes and take off with them. One area the Cardinals really struggled with last year was touchdowns in the red zone, and I think that starts with running the football more in the red zone, and I could see him absolutely exploding in the touchdown department this year.
That's a good case. I think the only thing people really should be concerned about, which really is more in the back of your head, I think Kenyon Drake getting drafted at round 2, sometimes slipping to 3rd, but I think I've seen a couple. I know Fantasy Pros was having him drafted in a 12-man league, like 11-12. So
You think he's being drafted too high? That's the only...
No, I see him like wide variety. Do I think like? I think he's a 3rd round steal. I think 2nd round.
I'm buying into the Cardinals offense. I think Kyler Murray in the Cliff Kingsbury offense is going to take off. I think Kenyon Drake's going to be a stud. I think Diop's going to be a stud.
Well, yeah. So
I
it's
just-
yeah.
No, yeah.
The
I-
third round is steal.
No, yeah.
Oh,
I,
you
mean,
don't? Okay.
I think even in the second round, he's.
But I mean, people were like, I watched. I think it was one of the Fantasy Pros videos, and they had the guy drafted 11 or 12, and he made a case about him. He's all in the hype train, and I think, like Kelly said, there's touchdown department could get a lot more,
Yeah.
and he could be the focal point of the team. You got D Hop. Everyone's
I don't
looking
think
at
he'll
him.
be the focal point. I think the offense runs through Kyler Murray. I think that. I mean, he's their number 1 overall pick.
He is,
They're not. I don't. They're not a run-heavy team. They're gonna. I think they're definitely gonna be a spread.
Okay, no,
spread
that
the
could be
ball.
correct. That could be correct. 'Cause David
I
Johnson.
definitely. Kenyon Drake's gonna be a stud. I think the whole Cardinals offense is gonna be insane. They're not gonna be able to stack the box against him. He's gonna have wide open rushing lanes. I mean, if he stays healthy, if everyone stays healthy in the Cardinals offense, we could be looking at. I don't even like.
Is there any downfalls on him besides the boot and the, Chase Edmonds hype a little bit? But I don't think there's anything else.
The
I
only
think
downside really is that he's never been the featured option on a team, even going back to college. So this is really his first true year where he's going into week 1 with the featured role. So
you think that comes down to a health thing then?
yeah,
Like, he can stay-
he's never missed a game in his NFL career, but he's at the same time he's never had a insane amount of touches. So we'll have to see how he handles that.
A full workload. No, plus the thing is too, Cardinals. I mean, their offense is going to be a lot better, I think, this year. But they're still. Do you guys? I mean, are they an 8-8 team? You guys think?
I don't think they were playing.
Not in that
I don't
division,
know.
especially.
No, they play in a terrible, not terrible, a good for them
Terrible, yeah.
But like their division is insane. What they have, the Niners, the
Yeah.
Seahawks, the Buccaneers, right?
Rams.
The Rams, yeah, that's who it is. I mean, I could see them being
They're
better than
tough
the Rams.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Their defense is. This is another reason why I think the Cardinals' offense is going to be just stat padding because their defense is atrocious.
Yeah.
So
All they
they're
got,
gonna have to put up
Jones.
points. They're gonna have. I mean, they have Buda Baker too. But
Isaiah
like,
Simmons.
yeah, but I mean, their defense is still nothing
I got you.
near what it. Like,
So it could be like.
good
That's
defense
why.
in the
Well,
NFL
now
would be.
could you make a case saying that Kyler Murray could be a better, let's say, draft like ADP, like you get a better reward at the ADP than a Kenyon Drake because they'll be down a lot, so they'll be airing out. Or do you think like Murray's big on?
Well, I
throwing
think they'll be in the game.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think their offense is going to be good in general, so I think they'll be in the game. Not, I don't really. I mean, I guess I could see them being down and then
Yeah.
having to come back,
Yeah.
but I think they'll be consistently in the game. And I think Kenyon Drake gets involved in the passing game. So,
Yeah. Is he a good pass catching back?
He's caught 50+ passes the last 2 years.
Yeah. So
And
he'll
last
be-
year was combined with Miami.
And Arizona.
Okay. Yeah.
I totally.
Kenyon Drake's good. Top 10
I'd
is
buy into it.
kind of just like he is. I feel like you're drafting him really high. You really gotta rely on him, and that's kind of. I know you feel that way. He's your ride or die, and that's how I feel for this next guy. I actually drafted him in the second round this year, Miles Sanders. The hype was there a lot. I think he kind of like faded away these last couple weeks because of the injury, but his lower body. That's what it's very vague what they talk about the injury, and they haven't signed as of today. They haven't signed any vet, any other running back, and Corey Clement's the third, Boston Scott's the second. I really don't think any of those two are good between the tackles at running. Miles Sanders, I think, could do it all. He's got a smaller build, but I think overall he's got a good.
He's got what it takes to be a workhorse.
Yeah, I had to think about that for deeply, and I was like, dude, this guy can't be a workhorse. And I mean, now the hype's there. Doug Peterson has always had what was the scenario? Committee, yes. And I really don't think there's no way there could be a committee. I think Boston Scott could be a third down pass catching guy, but Miles Sanders is going to get a great amount of catches. So the other thing is, the hype of the offensive coordinator saying Miles Sanders is our guy. He's guaranteed 15+ touches a game. I just think we're drafting him. I mean, maybe like all the hype is just hype. That's all it is. But for what we know and what we've been told, and with this crazy season, with no really preseason games, barely any practice, I think you have to. If you draft him early, I think you have to be happy with where and what you got, because everything that we know should be good. In those last 7 games of the year, they're really good on paper for statistics. Now, did he play a bunch of bad teams? Yes, but that's something I looked at too. I was a little nervous about drafting.
Did he
him.
really play just a bunch of bad teams in the end?
Yeah, I was like Redskins, Giants, Redskins,
It
Miami.
was pretty much a division and a couple of scrub teams.
Exactly. And that division, they won the division barely, with like being 9-7.
Mm-hmm.
So it's yeah. So I don't know. I looked at that, but I don't know. We'll see. I think he could be. He's my ride or die as well. But I'm really on the. I drafted him for a reason, so I have him at 7. So anyone else? I have MT at 8. I have Alvin at 9, and at 10 I have DeAndre Hopkins. Is there anyone else we missed? We got your list fulfilled.
My list is
Okay.
filled.
Last one then, DeAndre Hopkins. You drafted him. We're both big on him. I think the only downfall is just being on a new team. You don't know how it's going to be used. And the other thing in the back of my head is Kyler Murray being the Baker Mayfield. Second year QB has great season. I mean, less passing touchdowns than Baker, but more rushing, obviously. And you get the addition of Odell the next year. You're like, oh crap, this guy's gonna be insane. And I mean, Baker was ranked second in Sports Illustrated magazine last year. He went second in our draft last year.
Jason took him as a second quarterback?
I think so.
So,
God,
so
jeez.
that is a very scary situation. But I think I talked to you guys about the point of that, and you guys brought across that, it's a better team. There is a lot of mouths to feed too. Like, it's kinda scary.
the thing for me, I mean, I think D-Hop will be amazing, but I think if he does end up busting, it'll be because they spread the ball a lot more than what people think they're going to do. Kyler Murray doesn't improve from his first year. Maybe he gets hurt, but I mean, I think the 2 biggest concerns would be that they spread the ball too much and that he's not like heavily targeted, and if Kyler Murray takes a step back. But I don't see Kyler Murray taking a step back, and I could definitely see him getting less target share than he had on Houston.
Yeah.
But then again, I think talent kind of speaks.
Hopkins.
It's D-Hop.
Yeah. No, and it's like scary because you got Larry Fitzgerald there. You got Christian Kirk, who I'm really high on.
Larry's a bomb.
He's a legend, though.
Larry's a legend.
This is what my thing. If you're a veteran, you're getting touches somehow. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you're still in the league, you're getting work. It doesn't matter if you're good or not. It just happens. I feel. I guess it doesn't matter if you were good or not, but like Frank or AP Fitz, they're guys people just like want to see get the ball because it's a story. But I do like the idea of, was it Murray came out and said they all 3 should have 1,000-yard seasons.
Yeah, I think so.
Talk is cheap, but especially if it's coming from Le'Veon Bell. But I don't know. D-Hop 10. I do think Devontae Adams is safer, but I think the ceiling at the end of the season is going to be D-Hop.
I think D-Hop has not a good shot, but I think he has a chance to be the number 1 receiver. I think he has that talent level, and especially if the Cardinals' offense explodes, he could definitely be the number 1 receiver this year.
Awesome. Well, guys, that's our episode for our top 10 skill position players. We didn't have any QBs, just the focal point of fantasy football. So we'll check you guys out in the next one. Thank you, Ish and Kelly, for being on, and we'll see you guys later and let you know how week 1 goes.
Screw you. Call me Ish.
Sorry.